what happened yesterday was a PLU script. Okay, let's ask the question, what is the PLU script? The PLU script is based on getting direction from the NRM leader, who is President Museveni. The PLU actually does not have an independent script. When the PLU General Secretary announced our current Speaker, the Right Honorable Oboth Oboth, as the candidate for position of Speaker, Tanga Odoi, the chairman of NRM Electoral Commission, called a press conference and said, no, we are going through a party process. And the General Secretary of PLU, Honorable Kabanda, replied to the video of Tanga Odoi saying, I agree. Please, journalists, serve us better. The PLU script is always aligned to the NRM script. There is no independent PLU script. It is like saying Mothers Union has its own script different from Church of Uganda. Can Mothers Union have its independent script? Welcome, Honorable Peter Okot. You even asked, to me that's the focus. It is not about posts. I've already been deployed by the people of La Ropeche. I'm already guarding a post here. And you saw my response. I said, I'm continuing. Now, for most of you, you believe that if a powerful person makes a suggestion to you, then you must not use your head. You must immediately abandon what you are doing. So if a powerful person says, don't go to Entebbe, go to Jinja, even if you're already near Entebbe, you immediately abandon what you are doing. I think that is not self-respect. And I want to tell you, I communicate with the PLU chairman. And we have a respectful relationship. You talked about the national question. Now, your definition of the national question is different. Let me repeat what the national question is. The national question is a term in political science. It simply means building one nation out of diverse peoples, different languages, different cultures. That's what the national question is. National question has nothing to do with policies of fighting poverty and so on. It is about bringing a country together. And every country must find its own way. For the UK, they have resolved their national question by decentralizing power. So Wales has got the Welsh regional government, but they are part of the United Kingdom. Scotland has got the Scottish government. They have their own government, but they are part of United Kingdom. Northern Ireland is also governed in a certain way. Then the other side is the Republic of Ireland. That's an independent country. Tanzania, they have resolved their national question by allowing Zanzibar to have their own president, but not denying Zanzibar the right also to have a person who can be president of the entire United Republic of Tanzania. America resolved its national question by having a federal arrangement where the House of Representatives, which is like the lower house, they elect on the basis of number of people, population. But when you have now the upper house, even the smallest state like Alaska sends 2 senators, the same as New York, which has got so many people. So every country must find a formula for resolving its national question. Rwanda has resolved the national question by saying president and speaker can't come from the same party. They put it in their constitution. So through our dialogue and cooperation with NRM. We're having these deeper discussions. How do you deal with the national question? You have Buganda, which is sitting very uncomfortably in the country called Uganda. They are looking at us through the corner of their eye, saying, are these people really for us? We must find a formula to resolve that national question. We are now trying to resolve it through East Africa by saying when we have a political union, then the Samias in Uganda and Samias in Kenya don't have to worry. The Sabines and the Sabines of these two countries, the Bakonzo in Congo and Bakonzo in Uganda. So the national question is about finding the glue to bind together diverse peoples that are within a particular border. That's what the national question is all about. And whether you like it or not, you must resolve it. So it is like extended families. How do you manage extended families? It is similar to a national question. Finally, you said, I am in a marriage with NRM. We have a cooperation agreement. The president said we are in an alliance. So what am I doing in the office of the leader of opposition? Now, that is only for you people who think in terms of dichotomies. So if I'm watching NBS, you don't want me to switch to NTV. Your thinking is that way. So if I'm an Arsenal fan, I must not go and enjoy when Man City is playing or their arch rival Man U. And that thing will make you have a heart attack for nothing. You'll die young for nothing. Why should you risk dying young? I am DP. I'm the president of DP. I have points on which I disagree with NRM, by the way. For instance, NRM doesn't believe in federalism. We in DP, we believe in federalism. But is that enough for me to keep throwing stones at NRM and say, no, 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 no? But we also believe in a strong army as DP. We believe in having a free market in our economy. We believe in fighting terrorism as a DP. These are things that we believe in. We believe in order and rule of law. So now finding me in the LOP's office, you are now going to say, have you joined NUP? If I want to join NUP, I go to Kavule. This is the Parliament of Uganda. But even if one day we have an issue where NUP and DP agree, you will see me in Kavule addressing a press conference. Now, our arrangement with NRM is like the arrangement between East African countries. You saw the president of Uganda addressing Kenyans the other day. In fact, the podium even had the coat of arms of Kenya. What sort of journalist would ask our president, why are you here now talking in Kenya? Have you stopped being a Ugandan? So I really pray that we become more sophisticated than that. You asked me to elaborate on what I started with informally. The moral punishment to the former speaker has already been delivered through political sanction. Being forced to step down is already a political sanction. Now, whether there will be criminal charges, namely now a legal punishment, is a matter of evidence, because that one will be determined by the judges. But if you want to ask my direct opinion whether I believed she has a case to answer, I would say yes, she has. Definitely she has a case to answer. Even if you go to the streets and ask the hawkers and say, do you think the former speaker has engaged in corruption? They will say, yeah, based on what we see, is possible. I think that's what we call prima facie. So if you find a pregnant lady and somebody says, could she be a virgin? What would your answer be? This is what you're asking. So you would want to go for a pregnancy test first and so on. Pregnancy can be seen and observed. Even me, I can tell you, I can even see it when it is not yet seen visibly. It is possible if you are an expert. But as to whether there will be a conviction or whether she will do plea bargaining, whether she will cut a deal and say, you know, I'm surrendering these properties, I'm doing this in exchange for my freedom, I'm also going to be a witness, because there are still others at large. That amount of corruption cannot be done alone. If they said Mao stole 5,000 cows, do you really believe I can herd 5,000 cows alone up to Gulu? Definitely I must have a collaborator. So if I'm arrested, I will then say, Mutenyo was also there, and so and so. So then in exchange for reporting Mutenyo, my sentence can be reduced. So I don't think we have had the last of this story, because definitely she must now be mentioning names of other people who have been part of the operations. But I believe in the rule of law. I believe in a fair trial, and the trial must not be in the media. The trial must not be by a mob. For us, what we did was politics. Ours was not a legal process. And our only reason for doing it was so that Parliament could breathe. And Parliament is breathing. And that is why we are giving the new team benefit of the doubt. Even if somebody says, no, you are also like this, we say, well, provided you are going to work as a team, let's give you a chance. I don't want to be the one to be told that because you were talking too much, they could not do their job. Let us observe and wish them the best. Pardon? Locally and internationally. Do you think I'm a person who will ever lack anybody to give me a job? Seriously, if you people really... The fact that we have banters with some of these street politicians doesn't mean we are really at the same level. In fact, we do them a favor to even answer them. The idea of the cooperation agreement remains a big milestone. The other question from big media is that we are the alpha and omega in DP, we are dictators in DP, we are oppressing members. I think you know the parties that really oppress members. It cannot be DP. If there's a party where members are free, it is DP. Because we are the Democratic Party. Some of the things being done in DP, can you do them in any other political party, really? You have seen we are the most sued political party. I think I've had to deal with over 60 cases since I was elected party president. And it is okay, because if somebody wants to test something in court, it is all right. I want to repeat here that DP doesn't belong to me. In fact, there's no founder member of DP alive. All of them are dead. I was just honored to be the last person to talk to the last surviving founder of DP. You people should be praising DP because DP is alive despite the founders not being there. One day our leader was even killed and the party did not die. These parties you see around, if the top leaders were to be killed tomorrow, do you think they would really survive for 2 hours? You need to credit DP. You base your conclusion based on the 5 minutes of commotion in Mbarara. But if you were honest, you would realize that a candidate who wanted to be president of DP didn't have the qualifications according to the party constitution. But you still go ahead as so-called journalists, presumably educated, saying Mao blocked his opponent from contesting. Even if you wanted to be a driver, if the qualification is that you must have O level, and you don't have it, even if you are the best in safari rally driving because you have a permit, you will not be employed by Parliament of Uganda or any government ministry. DP believes in a rule-based society. The other thing which you keep repeating on your screens is when the chair of the DP Electoral Commission, who is here, Mr. Kennedy Mutenyo, at that time he was the one in charge of the election, and he got a report that there were goons who had been hired from Kampala to come and disrupt the process of counting. The voting was finished. What was left was counting. And you saw the videos, you even have them showing the candidates who were in the contest seated observing the process of counting. But you still continue with the false narrative according to big media, the gospel according to big media, that the ballot boxes were carried to a room as if they were taken to a hotel room. It was taken to a hall, an open hall, where all the candidates were there. So being Alpha and Omega is okay, but you have to be Alpha and Omega according to the rules. Even a president of a country is an Alpha and Omega. But you are Alpha and Omega according to the rules. I'm the president of DP, I'm the chief executive of the party, chief spokesperson, and my duty is to ensure that all the other party executives perform according to the party constitution. I never drafted that party constitution. That party constitution, we inherited it. Our party constitution is the smallest constitution, and it has very general things. So, you are basically saying Mao has no moral authority to talk about thieving. In other words, you are saying, even if I were the most corrupt person, I cannot talk about corruption. I think that is not logical. Even thieves report thieves. Now, what you talk about moral authority is something which can be raised if there is proof. So far, there is no proof. The noise you are talking about is political noise. of those who disagree with Norbert Mao. And as long as Norbert Mao can garner a majority in DP, he will lead DP according to the wishes of the majority. That is democracy. Imagine if I came here and denounced those who were elected as Speaker and Deputy Speaker yesterday. If I said I would never accept them, what sort of parliament would we have? If every time I stood up in that house I say, I don't recognize you. That's what is happening in DP. In DP, there are people who believe that, you know, to be president of DP, you must be a Muganda and a Catholic, preferably from Masaka. Now, what can we do for such people? There's nothing I can do for you, because your views are based on your own narrow-minded perception of politics. I can only pray for you. So they go around, I hear them that DP had had, but they cannot even win an LC1 seat. You know, by the time I was making noise in DP, I could demonstrate my popularity in Gulu. By the way, parties respect those who have support. If those young people had any kind of support, even in their village, I would be taking them very seriously. But how can I take somebody seriously when they are pay-as-you-go politicians? Now, because of the election of Speaker, they were also getting money from the other side that divert Mao, antagonize Mao. They were being irrigated. I don't take such people seriously. But because we are a democratic party, we cannot stop them. So they move around. I see them posting certain things on social media. They were even saying that for Mao to contest for Speaker, you need an endorsement from a party organ. I have the majority of support in the party organ, but that would just be a waste of time even. Secondly, there was no other person who wanted to be Speaker in DP. Because to be Speaker, you must be an elected MP. So was I supposed to compete with those veranda commentators who are not even councillors? But you people in the media like giving airtime to them. Go ahead. But it is just wasting our time. It is not a useful venture. We are only 6 from DP who are eligible. He never showed interest. He never showed interest. The last time Sebamala showed interest, he chickened out. You remember I even called the press conference in the DP headquarters. I was very supportive. When Honorable Richard Sebamala announced that he was going to contest for Speaker, I addressed the press conference at Balintuma Road and said, yes, for once there will be a DP MP who is contesting for Speaker. Since DP started, I'm the first to contest for position of Speaker. Why did they have to wait for me? So, you can only discuss it in a party organ if other members are interested. So basically I was unopposed, in assuming it was necessary. But even then, that's a matter for us to sort in our caucus of voters. But because of the obsession with comedy in politics, a lot of airtime was given to people who really never added value to the debate. So I reject this label that I'm Alpha and Omega. I've never wanted to be Alpha and Omega. We are not oppressing anyone in DP, and that's why they talk freely. As a matter of fact, my style of leadership is very accommodative. I want to advise the who are serious to make sure they have support. The reason I was taken seriously by Dr. Semogerere and the late Sevana Kizito is because they knew that I had a big political support base in Gulu. I was worth listening to. Because in politics, the real currency is support. But if you have no support, virtually all the people you are talking about don't have support in the population. In fact, I have been their pillar of support. So there is no alpha and omega in DP. We have leaders who lead according to the Constitution. You also said, I have been the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. Why am I commenting on the weaknesses in Parliament? You need to know that I have not been an elected member of Parliament. I could not even vote in this House. This is the first time I'm capable of voting in Parliament. I have been on Kameme. Now I have a seat. And the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs can contribute to making Parliament better. But for me, it is my duty to call upon the new leaders. But if you want a straight answer, I want to tell you that there were big obstacles to doing any reforms in Parliament. We first had to remove the obstacle. There was nothing that could be done. In fact, you should be thanking me for making it now possible for anybody to even suggest changes. Didn't you feel a change when you were entering Parliament? There is a remarkable feeling of being welcome to Parliament finally. But previously, this Parliament could not breathe. I'm getting so many messages in my phone from the staff thanking me that you don't know what you have done for us. So removing what is bad is just a first step. Doing what is good is the next step, because you must destroy what is harmful, then you build what is useful. That is the theory of revolution. So I could tell you that I could have done, because there was no environment which was welcoming to any proposal. You saw the kind of law that they brought, which was just intended to deny NUP money. We were not even allowed to debate it. We even went to the IPOD summit and rejected it and said we are going to have to repeal it. But they had already passed it. We needed to create the conditions for reforming Parliament. Now we have the conditions for reforming Parliament. And I've been like the liberators. So me, I'm a liberator. You are now, I see you commenting that, okay, you removed the previous speaker through your forceful campaign, but you never benefited because you are not the speaker anyway. I don't have to be the speaker. When you're a liberator, you liberate. You are like a hunting dog. You hunt, you bring the meat, you may get bones, and it is okay. The family is fed. I'm okay with that. Sometimes you are like a shoe which walks on thorns. But when the one wearing the shoe is entering the house, they leave the shoe outside. It doesn't enter. That's also okay. That's what liberators do. So don't feel bad for me that now you did all the donkey work, but those who were just in hiding, in fact massaging the status quo, are now the ones. That's okay. They now have an opportunity to do what they were being prevented from doing. So I did my part. And one of the biggest things I've ever done is this. Perhaps next to when I led the community of northern Uganda to go and meet Kony face to face. Because some of you in Kampala were saying Kony doesn't exist, that is a fiction. Somebody asked me whether I was not planted to confuse. Do I really look like the kind of person that needs to be planted? You really believe that I cannot make up my own mind? And who would plant me anyway? At the age of 59, and given my record, I think there's really no one who can call me and say, Mao, now start doing this. If that was the case, why weren't many people interested in doing it? So that one is a theory by those who just want to gain relevance. I've seen the comments that Mao is John the Baptist, that Mao is a pace setter, Mao is I don't know what. That's okay. I really have no problem with people drawing their conclusions. Squirrels cannot move with those who are hunting for buffaloes. They are in a different league. So if your target is to win the medal in, I don't know, which is the lowest league in England? Conference. So if your goal is just championship, you don't train like those who want the Premier League. Yes, you were told off yesterday, you Arsenal people, that please grow more coffee and so on, because I saw the Minister of Agriculture very angry with somebody who called him, now we Arsenal fans, we are raising money so we can celebrate. So what? You raise money and celebrate. Why must you involve me in your celebration? So anyway, there are people who want to be presidents, and we are not many who are serious. Those who want to seriously be president are few. Now, those who want to be president can also talk. You remember when Obama and Joe Biden spoke? Joe Biden was older, and most people would have thought that Joe Biden would want to go first. But they looked at the times, and Joe Biden said, I'll be with you, but you go. Go and defeat these Republicans. And he was with Obama for 8 years. Then he came later and became president. I know you ask these questions because you think there is a contradiction between me and others who want to be president. I want to tell you today there is none, because it is about Uganda. So don't start developing any theories about a Mao presidency clashing with any other person's presidency. I've ever supported even Amama Mbabazi for president. This time I supported President Museveni for president. And I don't do that. I do that at the expense of my presidency for that time, but not eternally. So if your question is that, does the fact that this time you supported President Museveni mean that you will never aspire to be president? The answer is no. So let us treat those issues logically. The other question, I don't have to respond to it because I already told you. You said the Ministry of Justice didn't bring a bill. The environment in Parliament could not allow anything that can change Parliament. They would say, Bali ba guba. You know, you even wonder what soap you need to clean something. You asked, from Salt TV, you asked what's the source of the problem. Okay, the problem first, there are three things: greed, incompetence, and corruption. They serve each other. Greed, incompetence, and corruption. So what's the source? The source of greed is when your thieving character meets with an opportunity. We all have opportunity to be greedy, by the way. I have been a minister. There was once a Minister of Justice who actually was taken to jail You can be corrupt anywhere. You can even be corrupt as LC1. So I agree with the gentleman from Sol TV that it is a big character flaw. Now, it is the incompetence part which is about mentorship. I would hear speeches, Mr. President, thank you very much. You have mentored us not to put politics of identity above politics of ideology. But what ideology really have you ever heard them professing? Have you ever heard them making any speech on any ideology? You can't just keep regurgitating. Politics of identity. What the politics of identity is the one I told you about, which is making DP to suffer. This Kabaka Yeka mentality, which we have been fighting in DP. So orientation can deal with incompetence, but you should also see for yourself. If you can't do something, please quickly say, I can't do it. And you leave those who can do it to do it. Now, corruption is another character flaw. But corruption is also a sign of weak institutions. It means the systems in place can be captured and abused. So it is not enough to say we have a good leader, the place is going to be clean. You asked that basically seetaaga kuwulira buwulizi ndi munnamateeka nga bw'ogambye era amateeka nga manyi. Eyali speaker wa Parliament ensobi gye yasooka okukola y'ensobi y'ebyobufuzi. Obwesimbu bwetaagisa ng'oli munnabyabufuzi. Naddala ku ddaala eryo kiringa ng'okubeera omusasedooti. Ebintu ebimufu abantu abatali basasedooti tuyinza obikola abantu ne bagamba oyo omuntu wa bulijjo. Naye w'obanga oli musasedooti n'obaako by'okola n'oyitawo, lazima bakubonereza. Ensobi ey'okubiri y'ey'okumenya amateeka. Amateeka gagamba ekisookera ddala olina okugoberera budget. Te ssente ezikuweebwa mu Parliament zirina okukola emirimu gye bateeseteese. N'okwewola ssente, mugenze mulaba bali mu kwewola ssente mu sako ya Parliament. Olaba ne gavumenti bw'eba eyagala kwewola ssente emala kwebuuza ku babaka. Awo oba omenya amateeka. Waliwo ensobi ez'okumenya amateeka ga procurement. Ekitongole kyonna bwe kiba nga kigula ebintu oba nga kyagala okuwa omuntu yenna emirimu. Mwalabye ensonga za Mama Bukedia FM. Tewaaliwo kiwandiiko kigenda mawulire nga kisaba amalediyo galeete gakole bidding, oba Capital FM oba Mega FM eggulu oba endigito, tinammwe muleete bids zammwe tunoonye tulabe ani asobola okuwa Parliament ekifaananyi ekirungi ebweru. Naye bo baatuula ne basalawo di Mama Bukedia FM egenda kuweebwa bilioni 3 n'okusukka kukola bulango. Nze sinawulira kalango n'akamu. Ate wavelength yenkana ya Fufa FM eyo 102 oba 102 point what FM point 1 channel eyo yenyini era ye channel ya Fufa FM. kati balowa abanga ye president wa FUFA nga gwe nanyini Mama Bukedea FM ate n'abateekako omukono nti baweereddwa omulimo bawangudde bid ate bid tewali yagirabako abakozi ba Parliament nga be bataddeko omukono nti bo bakozi ba Parliament ate be bakozi ba FM be ba director. Ekyo kyolabira ddala nti wabaddewo okukozesa obubi obuyinza bwa office n'ebirala nga tonaba na kuleeta nsonga yene emmotoka Lugogoma. Ene emmotoka Lugogoma waliwo omwami omu yagezaako okugireeta wano mu Uganda naye okugikola service olina ogirinyisa ennyonyi ogitwale Dubai oba Bungereza. Yagezaako okukikola emirundi ebiri ng'esatu oluvannyuma emmotoka yagitundira Dubai ng'emutamye. Kw'otadde n'amayumba g'ozimba kubanga sente z'ofulumya zirina okuba nga zenkanakana ne sente z'oyingiza okuggyako ng'oba owangudde betting ey'amaanyi ennyo ofunye zi miliyoni naye ekizimbe ky'oteekwa okumaliriza ekya Parliament kikulemye naye ebizimbe byo bidduka buddusi. Ffe abamu tusobodde okumaliriza ebizimbe mu myaka eno kati emyaka gisukka mu 10. Ebimu siyinza kubyogera kubanga nina kuba wavunaanyizibwa kubanga empapula ezisinga zibeera ku Ministry ya Justice. Oba olina by'olina okukyusa kwegamba ekizimbe we kibanga kijja kutwala biliyoni 5 gwe n'osalawo nti newankubadde nga bid yali ya biliyoni 5 twongereko biliyoni endala 10 nga tonnakikola empapula zirina okugenda mu Ministry ya Justice mu office ya Solicitor General. Naye tulina okubeera bavunaanyizibwa naye kati nze nabagamba nti Parliament efuuse crime scene ne museka. Ekyo nakibagamba kuba mwebuuza nti lwaki alangiridde nti tadda 231 ne bagamba nti ngadda atya ayina kudduka crime scene bakusange bakukwate. N'olwekyo ekibonerezo eky'ebyobufuzi ekyo kumufulumya office y'obwa speaker ekyo kibonerezo kyawedde. Pozi ekibiina ki NRM kijja kutunuulira code of conduct yakyo olwo basalewo oba asaanidde okubeera omumyuka wa chairman w'ekibiina owokubiri kubanga NRM naye ina code of conduct. Kati engeri gye nalabye nga tebaamuyita oba ye yasalawo obutagenda nawe kennyini osobola okwekuba mu kifuba n'ogamba nti kandekulire. Saawa yonna omuntu osobola okuddaabiriza omwoyo gwo kubanga bagamba nti okugenda mu ggulu teweetaaga kuba mutuukirivu naye olina osobola okuba omwonoonyi ayeenenyeza era be bajjudde mu ggulu. Naye obeera omwonoonyi n'okakanyala nga toyagala kwenenya awo obeera candidate wa Gehenna. N'olwekyo tulindirire tulabe ye kennyini ayinza okusalawo n'abaako kyakola naye sikiwa nti ajja genda yekka kubanga network ebaddewo lazima network ebaddewo. Kati ekyamateeka DPP yagenda okusalawo oba obujulizi buwera, wamaliriza fayiro ze nga tuvudde mu bino ebyokumwanika, ekyo kyo kyawedde, naye ng'ovudde mu kwanika omuntu oteekwa okutegeera oba obujulizi buwera. Buba buwera nga bamutwala mu kkooti ng'atandika kwewozaako.